S. Chand presents educational video lectures as per the AICTE curriculum. Difficult concepts made easy. Study anywhere, anytime.
In the previous part of our functions, we have studied about the call by value. So in this part, we will study about how we can pass the array to the function and how the call by reference take place. Hi, myself Dr. Shri Har Shatri and welcome to S. Chand Academy. Before going ahead, I recommend you these books of engineering from S. Chand Publishing. So passing arrays to functions. What is the meaning of this? So first is pass individual array elements. In the previous part, we have studied about how to pass the single values. Now, if we want to pass the multiple values are in the arrays. So we can pass the arrays. So how? Let's have a very simple example. This is print, point to be noted. Print is not a keyword, printf is a keyword. So that's why I can use the print function, name of a function here, print, and there are 5 parameters. I am using int, 5. All the 5 parameters must be of integer type. So this is called the function prototype. Now go inside the main, we have declared the array 5, okay, array of size 5, then I is the variable used for the iteration, okay. Enter the elements in an array of size 5, I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus, scanf. So this is we have entered the values like 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, okay. Now we are calling the function here print arr0, arr1, arr2, arr3, arr4. That is called function calling. This is the print function we have declared here, and there are 5 different arguments. So 5 different arguments we have written here. So what happens here? We have saved the values on these particular locations 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So ARR, this is ARR. ARR0 is 9. So it is moving here in a B variable. ARR1 is 8. It is going to the B. The same process follows for every indices, array indices. Okay, and one by one we are printing value at first position is %d and a. So we can see here the value at the first position is 9, then we are having 8, 7, 6 and 5. So what is the meaning of this? That we are passing the individual value of array elements one by one, okay. But this is not an optimum way of passing the arrays to the function. Let's suppose if the array is of 100 values, so can we do like this? It's a 5 values, so we can do like that. So if there are 100 values, how we can pass? So for that we must avoid all these things and we have to follow the optimum way of passing the array. So the optimum way of passing the array is pass 1D array to function. This is the second method to pass the array. So how we will do this? Hash include stdio.h int sum is the name of a function, again int arr. We have declared that this particular variable is of array type. In function prototype we have mentioned that this particular sum is having the parameter or is having the argument is of array type. So go inside the main, the same process we are inserting the 5 values using the scanf. Now result is equal to sum arr. Now what does it mean? Arr is a variable which is of array type, which we have already declared here, or which we have already declared here as well, okay. So sum arr, function calling. Here there is no need to mention the size, only variable we can assign here. So the control goes here, and here ARR is of array type. Whatever we have mentioned in the prototypes, they are the same thing we need to declare here. And in function definition, we have to write whole code. The program is to sum all the elements of array. Okay, so int ARR. Now int add equal to 0 and I is for the iteration, I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. So my iteration will be 5 times 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have initialized the variable add with the 0. If we will not initialize the add with the 0, what happens? In this particular step, this particular values of ARR will be added with the garbage value. So we have to remove the garbage value and initialize the variable with the 0. Now this particular value will be added with the 0 first. ARR of I is 0, ARR of 0. ARR of 0 is what? This is an array. 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and the value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, ARR of 0 is having 1. So 1 is added with the add. Now the value of add is updated. The value of variable add is updated. Now it becomes 1. Again, I increases, I becomes 2. So 1 plus 2, it becomes 3. Then the value of add becomes 3, and so on. This process will go on until unless this loop is not break. When the loop is finished, it comes out and return add. Here we can use the return. That's your choice. You can write output, you can directly print the output here as well, or you can return the value, because add is a single term. It's a single value. So return always sends or return the single value. So in the concept of swapping, swapping were of two different variables. Now swapping was in the two different variables. So that's why there was no choice of returning the two variables at a time. So that's why we have printed the swapping. We have printed the swapped values here. Now in this function return, only single value is there. So it will return to the called function from where it is called. So what is the meaning of this? Now this whole function, the meaning of this whole function is now 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, which is 15. The meaning of this whole is now become 15, and this 15 is returned here. Okay, the result is equal to 15. The 15 is assigned to the variable result, and we are printing the result here. So this is how we can pass the array to the functions. If there are 100 elements in an array, so we can, in similar manner, we can pass the 100 elements in an array. So this is the output of this particular program. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are the input values, and the sum of the elements are 15. Okay. Now the most important concept is call by reference. Call by reference means when function passes the address of variable instead of values is called call by reference. Passes addresses of a variable instead of values. Okay, what is the meaning of this? So to understand this, let's have there are two variables, a, this is another variable b, and the address of this variable is, let's suppose, 1002, and the address of this variable is 3001. The a variable is having the value 10 and the b is having the value 20. In call by value, what happened? We are passing this 10 and 20. But in call by reference, instead of these values, we pass the address, memory location of this variable. Okay, we will not pass the value, we will pass the memory location. So when we pass this memory location, that means the concept is called call by reference. So how to pass the memory location? We will first focus there. So to understand the call by reference in more depth, first understand this program using the concept of memory allocation using the call by value. Okay, in call by value, what happens? That swap, as I have already told you, this is x, this is y, 10, 20, okay, this is 1002, this is 3002. Now what happens here swap x comma y, the control goes here, int x, int y, the swapping happens here. Now swapping is happened, so here this particular x and y is different. This x, this is the x inside the main, this is x and y inside the main. Okay, so this is called the scope of a variable. This is inside the main, so here it is having some different allocation. Now it is inside the function definition. Here the meaning of x is different variable. This both the x's are not same. So let's suppose this is having some different address and this y is having some different address, that is 4010. So when you are passing the value of x and y, and with the help of swapping process it is swapped. So when you are passing 10 and 20, after swapping the y becomes 10 and x becomes 20. Okay, but here we are not printing here, we are printing here. So what happens? Before swapping the value of x and y is 5 and 6, and after swapping the value of x and y remains the same. Why it is not swapped? Because the scope of the variables are different here. This is the different address location and this is the different address location. Okay, so we are not printing the value of x and y of this one. If we write this statement here, if we write this particular statement here, then the value of x and y will be printed in a swapped manner, that is 6 and 5. Okay, so this a little bit program of call by value is just make you understand the importance of memory allocation and the scope of the variables, because this type of concept is very important in the call by reference. Call by reference. So function parameter passes the address of original parameter. Function parameter passes the address of original parameter, due to which they will point to the same memory location, and any changes made in the function parameter will also reflect in original parameters. Okay, so to do, what is the meaning of this? Let's suppose we stay at our residence, and our residence is having a particular address. Okay, and we are the values which are stayed in particular address. So one thing is the value is having some name. Okay, let's suppose I called Rahul. So Rahul is the name of a value which is stayed at a particular address. Now instead of value, if I say the address of the Rahul, flat number so and so, so what it shows that I am calling the Rahul not with the value, but I am calling the Rahul through the reference or through the address. The same thing is happen here. We are not passing the values, we are passing the address of the those parameters. Okay, so to understand the concept of reference, call by reference, first of all I need to introduce a very brief introduction of pointers, because we need to use the concept of pointers in call by reference. In upcoming lectures we will study the pointers in depth, but here we will initialize the concept of pointer in a very small manner. Pointer is a variable which stores memory address of another variable as a value. I am again repeating, pointer is a variable which stores memory address of another variable, and let's suppose this is x equal to 5. X is a variable, it is having some location, that is 1002. Okay, and this is having the value 5. This is the meaning of this particular statement. Int star ptr, ptr is the name of a variable and star is a pointer. If we want to declare a certain variable of pointer type, we have to apply the sign here star. That means star ptr. It is means this ptr variable is of now pointer type, and this ptr will save only the address or only the memory location. The value of this ptr variable is the memory location of some another variable. Here we are saying ptr is %x. What does it mean? Ptr is a variable, okay, of pointer type variable m%x. M% is address of memory, address of this particular variable. Okay, this address of this particular variable is 1002. So the value of this PTR is 1002 and this PTR is having its own address. Let's suppose it is 5151. Okay, now this PTR variable is having the address of 1002. That means this is directly reference to here. Now if we want to access the value of this particular address, okay, so how to access this value? So for that again we have to derefer this pointer. For that, if we want to access the value of this particular address, star PTR, if we apply the star PTR, then the value at this particular location will be printed, that is 5. Point to be noted, this star PTR and this star PTR is different. This is the declaration of the pointer and this star PTR is value at this particular address. This is here the star is dereferring. We will understand this concept when we study the topic pointers in depth. So call by reference, initializing x equal to 5 star PTR m%x. See here, this is just a simple introduction of memory locations. X is 5, star PTR is a pointer type, PTR m%x. That means the address of this particular variable is saved with the pointer type. Now we are printing value of a variable x is 5. It is here. Address of the variable x is m%x. So this is the address of a variable 5, that is 642268. Then value of a pointer variable PTR is, what is the value of this? The address of this x. So value of pointer variable is 642268. Then address of pointer variable, the pointer variable is also having its own address. So its address is 642264. Then printf the value at a pointer variable PTR. So if we want to print what is the value at this particular location, so that is star PTR. So that is 5. Okay, so this is the brief concept of pointer, and this concept will be used in call by reference. So in call by reference, initialize this is a small program to understand the concept of call by reference. Hash include stdio.h header file, then swap int star is a name. Swap is the name of a function. This particular variable or first argument is of pointer type, another argument is of pointer type. This is the function prototype. Int main, and inside the main we are declaring the x and y value. We are inserting the values of x and y. Okay, and before we are printing the statement that before swapping the value of x and y is this. Now function calling is there, swap m%x m%y. We are doing the call by reference, so we are sending the address of this variable x and y. So that's why we are using m%x and m%y. And the function called, the function definition activates. Now to catch this particular address, we have to introduce the concept of pointer, because pointer can save the memory location only. So that's why star A and star B. Star A and star B, you can say A and B are the alias of x and y. Okay, so this is the memory location. We are transferring this memory location to A and B variables. So these variables are of pointer type. Now in there we are doing the swapping. Now what does it mean? Int temp is a normal variable which can only save the values star A. Now the meaning of star A is, star is used to access the memory location that pointer is pointing. So here let's suppose m%x, this is x and x is having the location 1010. Okay, m%x is transferring 1010 here. Okay, now star A means star 1010. That means value at this particular address. So the value at this address is whatever the value we have inserted of the x, 5. So value at this address is 5. This 5 will be assigned here. The same thing, the value of address b, that is 6. So 6 will be assigned to the 5, and the value the temp is assigned to the variable b. Okay. Now point to be noted, there is no printf statement here. Okay, we can only write the return, and there if we will not write the return, still the value will be swapped here. Why? Because we are only referring to the memory location. We are only calling to the memory location. We are only talking about the memory location. So it can be this particular statement can be like that: x is equal to star a. Okay, and another y is equal to star b. So memory location is remain the same, only we are swapping the values. So that's why there is no need to write the printf statement here, but you can write the printf statement as well here, that is your choice. So and also we are not writing the return statement here, because we are talking about only the reference. So we are just in a same memory location, we are just shifting the values. So there is no need to write the printf statement here. I hope the concept of call by reference is clear to you. So this is the end of part 2, in which we have studied about how to pass the arrays in a function and how to pass the values using the concept of call by reference. So this is all about the functions, the fundamental of functions, and in the next lecture we will study about the most important concept of the function, that is recursion. I recommend you these engineering books from S. Chand Publishing. If you like the video, please do not forget to like, subscribe and share, and press the bell icon for more updates.
All rights reserved. This video has been prepared for educational purposes only. No part of it may be reproduced or copied without the permission of the copyright holder.